Hello, Mayor. Hello, Commissioners.
Hello.
I guess you can't see me, can you?
No, Stephen, we can't.
Oh, well, I know I'm not sure. I'm not good with this technology stuff.
That's all
Anyway,
right.
before the meeting starts, I wanted to just um, thank the commissioners and the mayor, the town for thinking of me and sending that nice package. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely, Stephen. We're thinking about you.
I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you all very much.
Yep. All right, Cal, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order, the Mayor and Board of Commissioners for March 23rd, 2021. Can I get the roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Braun,
Yeah.
Commissioner Pearson,
Here.
Commissioner Warnick.
Here.
Let the record show that you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you bow your heads with me for a brief prayer? Father God, I come to you tonight. I ask that you watch over our board, God. I ask that you watch over the citizens of our town. Please look after our first responders and those currently battling the coronavirus, Lord. Please be with them, and please be with those that are serving here and overseas in our armed forces, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. We don't have any public presentations except for how to use Zoom, which I believe everyone does. And there are no business meeting items. Is that correct, Town Administrator?
That is correct.
All right, so it would actually be citizens input. Would anyone like to speak this evening? All right, Chief.
Well, hello, everyone. During the past 2-week period, the officers responded to 95 calls for service. They, as a result of that, there were 10 arrests made, of which there were 2 possessions with the intent to distribute meth made during that time, and 1 handgun violation. That handgun violation occurred at one of the local bars as the subject attempted to display it during a fight. During that 2-week period, officers also spent 10 hours teaching DARE. Rising Sun Police Department is one of the few agencies in the county that are still teaching DARE since COVID first struck back in March of 2020. We've used 18 hours, I'm sorry, we've used 20 hours of vacation, had 18 hours of court, and 24 hours of training. Also, as the board's aware that we've been having some issues with obtaining uniforms with locating a uniform company. I can report today that we are finally found a uniform company that can continue the same uniforms that we've used, for the past many years. And an order has been placed so we can get the officers back into the more dressier uniforms. In addition, there has been a permit for the annual Tiger Trot that's set for April 17th. That has been forwarded on to the state. Also, there should be a permit coming from the Sunfest Committee for Sunfest, which is set for June 5th. With that being said, that's my report, unless there are any questions.
Hey, Chief, I didn't know if you wanted to mention that you were in Annapolis also.
Yes, myself and some other chiefs from the county took a trip to Annapolis to show support for against the House bills that have been put forward to reduce the police officers' Bill of Rights and some other reductions in what they're calling police reform, which in my opinion will actually cause more damage to law enforcement than it will help. We were there to oppose it. That bill actually passed the House, and it is now in the hands of, I believe, the Senate. And if you need more information, please contact me about that. But these bills are not good for law enforcement. what they're trying to strip away is actually going to decimate what law enforcement in this state has in place for protections.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
I think we have a report on the finances. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Judy?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. I'm going to start with our general fund. We are tracking to budget very closely on the general fund. If you look at our average monthly cost, we have about $156,000 a month, and it shows we're tracking with the profit. But if you take that times 4 and you look at the revenue and understand that the revenue is realized upfront, then you know how to compare those two numbers to understand where we stand. We have not had to go into any reserve funds in any of our funds, but we're tracking, like I said, very, very close to budget. I looked out for the next 4 months, and we're positioned to handle all of that without ever going into the reserves. And looking at water and sewer combined, I actually decided to take a look at our average monthly expenses in water and sewer, and then what are we billing now and how many gallons are we billing, and are we tracking to be able to meet those obligations? And give you an idea, with sewer, our average monthly expenses are around about $63,000, and this past month we billed $66,000. So that is very good. We're in a good situation there right now. We billed $4.3 million in water. If we continue to do that, those two funds look stable, and we haven't gone to reserve on any of those yet this year. Looking at the staff, we have a new person with us. Her name is Betsy Logan, and she is just phenomenal. She's learning at a very rapid pace. I'm very pleased with her. Some things I'd like to bring to your attention. We did, when looking at collections and past due accounts, we're tracking to be around 15% at 60 and over, which is a very good position. We started the month at about 25%. So she's doing a great job in reaching out, working with people and getting them in to make their payments. For customer contact, we had 120 calls we serviced the community with everything from needing a trash can to yard waste to all the types of questions we handle on a daily basis. We opened 10 public works work orders to handle things for the community. And that is the only things that I had to update you with today, unless you have questions for me.
Thank you, Judy. Town Administrator, do you have a report?
Yes, we are in the process of getting pricing for the proposed paving projects. The engineer is going to be giving us some preliminary cost estimates. To be honest with you, I think the number is going to be very high. So we might have to trim down some of the locations. The good thing is we've gotten pretty much ahead of some of our more egregious areas. Obviously, Valley View, Louise Court is one that is going to be at the top of the list, and that will get done. A lot of the other locations, like the Town Hall parking lot, the lane heading down to the pump station in Diddy Richards Park, those are all things that if we have to, we can extend them till later, in later years if necessary. So we'll be finalizing the cost estimates for paving. Also want to let everybody know that we have a new house that's going to be built down on Walnut Street, right at the corner of Meadowview or Meadowside Road down there. The last Stevens lot has been purchased. They've gotten their stormwater approval. There's a couple more things I need to do with the building permit, but they should be, we should start to see construction there in within another 30 days. We're getting a lot of interest in some vacant spaces. I do have someone that contacted me about being able to open up Sue's Restaurant again. I've not been able to meet with them yet to discuss what their plans are. I just know that they're interested in opening it up as a restaurant again. We've also had another business that is looking to open up on Main Street. We're not quite ready to disclose what it is yet because I'm not sure if the property owner is or the business owner is ready to disclose that. But that's going to be happening in the next, probably within like 2 weeks. They're going to be doing a couple little minor renovations on the inside to accommodate the business if they want to run, but it'll be another business located on Main Street. That's all I have for my report.
Thank you, Town Administrator. And I have a brief mayor's report. One of the things that Cal just mentioned about a new business, I do want to formally welcome Be Free Boutique, who did announce a day ago that they are coming to Main Street. They will occupy 12 East Main Street and be operating a woman's boutique. We are very excited to have them join our Main Street revitalization. As you know, the board and myself have been working really hard along with our administration in filling Main Street and bringing it back to life. It started with Rise and Grind Coffee and has ballooned into a complete downtown revitalization project with right now I believe with this new boutique, we're going to be about 85, 90% full. So we are very excited about that. I also wanted to mention that Grant and the Public Works team did a fantastic job with some signage that needed replaced on Main Street. It was replaced very quickly. It was just an old sign that needed to be replaced that talked about our parking and didn't really look well on Main Street. So they were able to fix that very quickly. Again, I've reached out to schools about the Mayor for a Day essay contest. I'm going to be speaking with Rising Sun Elementary soon, so I'm excited about that. And last but not least, I did want to mention that today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the first COVID case in Cecil County, which did happen to be here in Rising Sun. Our whole team, our Board of Commissioners, myself, along with our emergency management team, have been very proactive in our response to COVID-19. We continue to keep our citizens updated on what's going on, and we often have new ways to do that. More recently, we just started the process of having the health department post flyers into our water billing system so that seniors in our community can know what's going on if they're not necessarily on Facebook or have access to the internet. So we are continuing to keep people updated throughout this pandemic, but today is the 1-year anniversary. I remember myself and the chief and Calvin, we met and we had a press conference a year ago, and who would have known that we are still in the middle of this pandemic. The best thing that I can tell you is still to remain vigilant, but also try to support our downtown businesses that were affected through the pandemic and still continue to feel a response to the pandemic. With that said, that is the end of my mayor's report. Moving into commissioner comments. Commissioner Braun.
I'm sorry, I had it on mic. Commissioner Braun does not have a report.
Commissioner Pearson.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Commissioner Warnick.
I mean, we're just, weather's breaking, so we're going to be getting into the parks here soon to get going. I don't know if we're going to be able to do any Project Clean Stream this year or not. Kind of hopefully we will, but I have not heard anything yet on that. So I'll be reaching out to the OWA here soon to get some answers on that. We're going to try and get some maintenance done on the train here soon because it's starting to look a little rough. the coat of paint that was put on a few years ago. I've actually still got the paint in the garage, so we'll probably get that refreshed. And the wheels need some work. It looks like the wheels came off the train, so we got to put the wheels back on the train. We don't want wheels coming off anything around town. And I think there might have been some damage to the top of the tanker car, so we'll get that repaired too. And I had Clyde Van Dyke from Cecil County Parks and Rec was in Veterans Park looking at the way we did some of the boardwalk construction and some of the projects that we had in some of the wetlands areas that were to get them past the wetlands approvals process and everything without going through all the permitting processes, the type of construction and stuff that was necessary. And they were working on a similar project over in Calvert Park, and kind of gave them some ideas. I think the big thing right now, though, is the price of lumber has, I was shocked at the price of lumber. It's obscene how expensive lumber's gotten. So that might put a kibosh. It might be cheaper to get concrete or something than get lumber right now. It's gotten so expensive. So, we're looking at how that's going to impact projects for this year. And that's my report.
Commissioner Warnick, do you know if they're doing a trout release this year?
I believe DNR will be. They normally do that, I think, around they're not.
They are, it's my understanding.
I was gonna say I understood they were, but they normally do it later in the spring,
They do it just before a rodeo. It's usually about the last of April.
Yeah, I was gonna say end of April, and then because the fishing derby is early May, I think. So I'll follow up with that because I'm seeing some head shaking. I saw one head shaking no at least, so I'll see if I can get some answers on that. If that's something's changed there. Last I'd heard they were planning to, but that's always subject to change based on everything going on. And then the other thing I would like to highlight is Thursday is Maryland Day. So don't forget to wear your Maryland colors. Patterns, ties, suits, whatever. If it's leotards, I don't want to see it, Travis.
Thank you, Commissioner Warnick.
Okay.
All right. Cal, if you can post up the upcoming meetings up on the screen. I know that agenda will also be posted up as well.
Can you see it now? I've shared the screen.
I see it.
I can see it too.
Okay.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
No,
All right.
of course.
Go ahead, Jane.
I was just wondering, since you were talking about, Dave was talking about Project Clean Stream and like that. Can we at least do a road cleanup in town? Because I was driving down Walnut toward the dog park the other day, and the trash along Walnut is just ridiculous.
Well, a portion of Walnut is actually owned by Cecil County, so I'm sure we can definitely reach out and let them know that they need to get on that. But I'm sure that that's something that either Dave or I can work on with Calvin on getting organized.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have a problem going down there. I just don't want to do something I'm not allowed to do. But
You can always pick up. Trust me, nobody would tell you you're not allowed to pick up trash along the road. I think
Okay.
the bigger thing is if you're doing any kind of those cleanups, I think there's always some concern about pedestrian safety.
yeah,
And so that's something, and the chief, I'm sure, could speak to that more, but the sheriff's office would support some of those. Like sometimes they'll support the road cleanups and stuff. So we'll have to coordinate that.
okay,
If we're gonna have, if it's a single person cleaning up, it's one thing. If it's a group of people, we definitely want to get some kind of traffic management.
And I didn't
Gotcha.
realize that I was muted, so I will say what I was going to say, which is On the agenda, the one thing that's missing is our spring cleanup day, which is going to be April 17th. That will be at the Public Works Yard. That was sent out in our water billing system for town residents only. They can bring bulk items to throw away free of charge. And that's to help alleviate the fact that our trash hauler charges $50 per item to throw away bulk items. So we'll have a spring cleanup day, and then we'll also have a fall cleanup day as well. 2 town meetings, April 13th and April 27th. Last but not least, I did want to mention about these Zoom meeting minutes, which is I've had a few folks reach out and we're working to try to get the Zoom meetings uploaded from the Zoom cloud to our YouTube. So we are working on it. We're trying to get them all updated, but we've ran into a little bit of a snag with that. So with that said, can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's town meeting?
Make a motion to it.
Hold on one second. Chief, did you have something that you wanted to?
No, I was going to mention that typically the trash removal was done by the living workout people at the detention center. But since COVID has occurred, I don't think they're doing it yet.
Yeah.
So, that's where the county would normally get their manpower to do the cleanups on roadside.
Right. Thank you. Sorry about
All
that.
right.
I saw the chief was trying to before. So with that, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Night.
Meeting adjourned this evening. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you all for being here and serving the town.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned at 7:24 PM.